basically it's going to be Team A, Team B, so Team Phil, Team Sid, and then we want you guys to vote on which is the best team. So the theme for this draft is going to be the best bachelor party destinations.
What's up, nomads? Welcome to your new favorite travel podcast, Two Beers Till Takeoff, the podcast that delivers expert knowledge, the information you won't get in your guidebooks, and a story that's guaranteed to make you say, what the fuck, or your money back.
B, you know our episodes are free, right?
Hello and welcome to Two Beers Till Takeoff. My name is Phil and welcome to Happy Hour. Today, usually Brandon would be here with me on Happy Hour, but we have a fan favorite. If you don't know him, he was the host for season 1. He also just actually won a marathon. Welcome to the show.
I would say run rather than one, but
welcome to the show, Sid, the big Sid. What's going on, buddy?
How's it going? You right? No beers for me today. I'm a little fragile, but we'll be okay.
I think we almost have to consider. We have to consider rebranding to the Hangover at this point.
Yeah, it's been I ran the marathon about 2 weeks ago, and I don't think I've stopped drinking since. It's like a celebration, decompression. I think we call it.
Yeah.
The marathon was hard.
Yeah. Harder than you expected?
Well, yeah. No, the training was harder than expected, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think I explained to you when I came on a couple of weeks ago, where I live, it's really hot, yeah? So if you want to run, you've got to wake up at like 4:30, 5 a.m. Yeah, because by 9, it's blistering heat and you're coming back red like a lobster. You're getting sunburnt every time you go out if you're running after 9. So you've got a limited window. And yeah, you've got to find places to get water.
That sounds a bit tougher to do than to run in Canada, I guess. I mean, it does get hot here.
It does, that's right. And you've got to dodge moose and bears. Fuck, it can't be easy.
Yeah, for you, I guess the marathon must have been tough, but also taking time off drinking to do that, that training must have been tough for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I took like 3 nights off in the end, and it was torture. By the second night, I was getting the shakes. Like, give me a beer. But no, I got through it. No, I didn't.
How you are right now.
A lot of people completely stop. A lot of people completely stop drinking from. But I know a guy who runs it in 3.5 hours, and he said to me, "I drink every night, even like in the build up to it, even the night before. I drink every night without fail. I've got an alcohol problem." And I thought, fuck it, if he can do it in 3.5 hours, then I'll be all right to, at least just take a couple of days off. I don't need to take any more off than that.
So did you see that the more you would drink, better your times would get?
Well, to an extent, yeah. I mean, he's got to be on to something running like that. I did it in 3 hours 45, yeah, which is like a reasonably above average time. It's
wow.
Yeah,
I used to think that I was the athlete of the podcast.
Not a fucking chance, son. If you can run sub 4, you're above the average marathon runner. I think the actual average finish time is 4 hours 13. And that's for people that can actually do it. So when you take into account the general public who definitely can't do it, it's some accomplishment. But fuck, I wouldn't do anything longer than this. These people that do these ultra marathons, like run up Mont Blanc and things like this,
That's insane.
Not for
That's
me.
too much.
Leave it out. Yeah. One was enough.
So how long does training for a marathon take?
Well, I think people say if you start from scratch, you can do it in a year. I started last year because I was going to run Sao Paulo last year. I'm glad I didn't because the route's fucking horrible. It's just through like the concrete jungle. Whereas here we did the whole. We started in the forest, ran out, and then ran along the beach, and then ran back into the forest. So I'm pleased I actually waited longer, but I didn't wait on purpose. I fucked my knee last year. Couldn't do any exercise for like 4 months, which meant that I had to put it back to this year. So it's hard to judge, really. I think you could get yourself in shape if you're already in reasonably good shape. I think you could get yourself up in 6 months for one.
Wow!
But
Yeah,
it depends where
that's
you're
like
starting from.
it's a commitment. Like 6 months it's fucking half a year. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And you got to be getting out. Some people go out running every morning. I wouldn't. I go out maybe 4 times a week. But everyone I spoke to was like, your training plan's fucked.
Yeah, now that you've finished the marathon, are you just like putting it on pause? I'm kind of done, or are you now like trying to keep up that endurance?
I threw my running shoes in the bin as soon as I finished. One and done, baby.
Wow. But I mean, it's pretty cool to say you did it. So congratulations.
Oh, thanks, man. Pleased about it.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. What's going on with you anyway?
What's going on with me? Man,
Yeah.
Canada last night won a big one. Canada's hockey world junior team won in overtime.
Fuck the juniors, man.
In overtime. So
wild.
the juniors. Listen, it's a big deal in Canada. Not a big deal anywhere else, but listen, we won. It was in overtime. There was a point where one of our players in overtime stopped the puck from going, and not the goalie, but like one of the players stopped the puck from going. It was so fucking close. Yeah, you basically heard
I was nervous.
like I yelled, and I heard all my like neighbors yelling, just like, "Oh, what?" That's how it is in Canada, I guess. But no, other than that, man, watched the UFC last night. Usman fucking got knocked out. It was so funny though. He was being so dominant during the fight, and like it was to a point where the announcers were even chirping him. They were like, "Yeah, this guy that he's fighting is not cut of the same cloth." And the announcer literally said that, and within a second, Usman got knocked out. It was
Curse of the commentator.
Yeah,
we call
it
that.
was yeah. So no, it was a night of a great night of sports. Yeah, but switching lanes here. Have you heard about the Finnish Prime Minister that's under scrutiny at the recently? Have you heard about that? I believe her name is
I did.
Sanna Marin.
I well pronounced. I'm assuming you've been practicing. Yeah, I did. I did see that. I don't really get the big deal about this. You know, as two people that like to drink, I think we can't really do anything but defend her here. I'd be happy to have a leader like that.
Well, yeah. So for those who don't know what happened with the Finnish Prime Minister, there was a video that surfaced that she was at a party and she was dancing and drinking with friends, and people are up in arms about this. It doesn't make sense. Like, it's funny because a lot of voters, when they ask what type of leader that they want someone that they can have a beer with, right? But then you look at what the treatment that this prime minister is getting. She's 36 years old, and she's partying with some friends, and people are like, "Oh my god, like she's unstable. She should be drug tested." Like, I think we can't forget that like these leaders, prime ministers, presidents, people that are leading countries are still people. Like they still need to, like us, like take have a beard, like take the load off.
Yeah, back to decompression. It's got to be hard running a country. What would you rather have? Some robotic clipboard that sits there reading from a script every day about how he's going to do this and do that? No, let him go on a piss.
It's not a man of the people. Or a woman of the people.
Exactly.
But she definitely...
Exactly.
She definitely is a woman of the people.
Oh, I'm going to vote for her.
Me too. She's probably like in Finland somewhere, crushing some black licorice drink in a sauna, fighting a polar bear. Like, what else do you want, Finland?
Yeah, I spent like 2
Other
days
than
in
to
Finland,
win
and that's
World
exactly
Juniors.
how it was.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just fucking
Nice.
saunas and bears. Santa Claus as well. He lives there.
So you've been to Canada and you've been to Finland as well, and I guess our geographies, landscapes are pretty similar. Would you say it's somewhat close, like the nature and stuff like that?
A little bit, I suppose. I find it hard to judge because Canada's massive, and I've been to like one small part of it, and I'm assuming it doesn't all look the same. I'm sure the centre and the west does not look like. No, it doesn't look like the east. And as I said, I was in Finland for like 2 days, and it was winter, so it was covered in snow. So yeah, I mean, it felt like it looked pretty similar,
Yeah.
green and trees and snow in the winter, but it's hard to judge really.
Well, I mean,
I
you
don't know,
did
do you
talk
guys have
about
saunas?
coming up to Canada this winter. We don't. Well, I mean, we have a lot less of a sauna culture than Finland, but you talked about coming up to Canada. So maybe after seeing the snow in the winter, first of all, you want to come to Canada during the winter? Like, you're fucking crazy, one. But like, two, I guess you'll be able to compare Finland and Canada since you went in winter. But it's you'll see, man. Be careful what you wish for, because Canada in the winter it's a different ball game.
There's a reason this is still in the pipeline and hasn't been booked yet. I'm not sure it's a great decision because it's going to be summer here as well. I'm going to go from like 40 to minus 40. It's going to be like an 80-degree flip.
Yeah, and like, I don't know if you have all the equipment that you need to come to Canada. Like, you can't just like show up and be like, yeah, like I've got a couple of jumpers, whatever you say. Like, you need a fucking jacket, like winter boots.
The thickest thing you can actually buy here is a jumper. There's not even coats. I went looking for one the other day. You can't even find coats to buy here. So
Jesus Christ. So
I'm going to need you to meet me at the airport with the jacket. Because I'm not going to have to leave the airport.
Yeah, literally. You're going to be the most tan guy there in like flip-flops. Yeah. So Sid, so we've talked about this on the pod that, you know, you and I are going to, you and I and my girlfriend Jacqueline, we're going to Peru together. What are your thoughts? Are you nervous? We're going to the Amazon and then we're doing Machu Picchu. What are you feeling?
Well, I am a little bit nervous because it also gets cold in Machu Picchu. In Cusco, it's going to be like 2 degrees at night, and that's why I was looking for the coat. I can't find one, so I'm thinking I'm going to be fucked when we get there. But yeah, I'm buzzing for it. You know, it's going to be a lot of trekking, but I'm in reasonably good shape, so that shouldn't be too hard. But that, you know, Machu Picchu is something that everybody wants to do. It's a bucket list item, isn't it? It's a big draw,
Yeah.
and then the Amazon's going to be wild. You know, I can't wait to go up the river and start licking toads or whatever it is they do there. It's going to be some week.
Yeah, man.
You're going to see some gnarly shit up there. There's going to be bugs the size of your face.
Oh man,
Jaguars running around everywhere.
Should we hire like a cameraman just to like follow us around, make sure that like if we do end up dying, that like we'll at least have footage of it?
We could do that. It can't be expensive to hire one of them. So yeah, man, that would be nice as well because he can document us like drinking on the boat and things like that. You know, maybe if we give the boat guy a few extra pesos or whatever. I think it's sols, isn't it? If we give him a few extra sols,
Solis?
I don't know how you pronounce it, but maybe he'll let us drive the boat. I don't know. I could see it kicking off in the Amazon. Gonna wrestle an alligator.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's also ayahuasca retreats in Peru. Is that something that you'd consider?
That's licking the toads, isn't it? That's what I thought it was. So yeah.
No, like I think ayahuasca is like a brew of different like plants from the Amazon, and then once they're combined, like individually they don't do anything, but when you mix them all together, they create ayahuasca and fuck you up.
I always thought they got that shit off the back of a toad. There's like some frog there that's got some hallucinogenic qualities.
Yeah, I think that's 5E or 5-MeO-DMT. Did we just turn into a Joe Rogan podcast?
I think we have just gone full Joe Rogan here.
Yeah, but so for those who don't know what ayahuasca is this, yeah, like I said, it's a mixture of plants from the Amazon, and when you ingest it, you have apparently it's like the world's strongest psychedelic. And I think what's maybe different from things that people do, I guess, in other places is that, you know, everybody has a different experience when if you drink, if you smoke weed, if you, like, there's always a different experience. Whereas when people do ayahuasca, they all have the same experience. They all go see these beings from somewhere else.
Yeah, everybody I've spoke to as well said it was intense, too intense, and it's like a marathon. It's a one and done. Nobody I know has done it twice. So it's going to be.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be gnarly. I'm still on the fence, but yeah, we'll see.
You might warm to it after a couple of beers. Let's see who we meet there. There's going to be some interesting characters around.
Yeah.
But you've got to be pretty interesting and tough to live in that part of the world, haven't you? You know what I mean? There's not even any roads going in and out of those little towns.
It's crazy, man. Peru is so much more of a destination than I expected, because I guess from the surface, Peru, I just expected, Machu Picchu. Like I guess I didn't consider that the Amazon was there, but I was reading up and apparently they have 34 different types of climate. It's one of the world's most diverse place in terms of climates. So they have desert, beaches, they have jungle, but they have 34 different types.
That's wild. And again, that brings me back to the same point. It's really hard to pack for a trip like that.
Yeah.
Like I remember when we did the big Southeast Asia trip. We're going back years now. Actually, that's how long ago that was. Yeah. But I packed a tiny little bag because all you needed was like 3 pairs of swim trunks and 3 wife beaters, flip flops. Didn't wear anything else. We went up into the mountains in Myanmar actually, and we froze our bollocks off up there. But other than going up to the mountains up there, it was all 35 degrees every day, humidity.
Yeah.
Easy to pack.
Yeah, like for us, like you said, like in the jungle, it's going to be kind of like Southeast Asia. It's going to be like fucking plus 35, plus 40, whatever, with plus humidity. And then we're going straight to fucking Machu Picchu, like you said, was fucking at night will be -2. We're, almost 4,000 meters in elevation. So yeah, like I wanted to bring a smaller pack, but at this point I'm going to have to bring my 50, I think. Like I might have to pack for me and then pack for you too. Bring you some. That's fucking what I was going to say. So
give me some jumpers.
I think I've got a couple extra camo ones.
I only want camo.
Yeah, I can bring my camo Crocs as well.
You got camo Crocs?
Yeah.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, hold on.
I want to see them now.
Yeah, look at that, baby.
Yeah. Worth every penny of whatever you paid for those.
I didn't pay for them. When you moved to New Brunswick, they just give them to you upon entry.
Fantastic. I always knew it was one of the best places on earth. Thing is, if you didn't have camo on, you'd be in danger. People would be able to see you.
Yeah. I literally was an MC at so I was an MC at a wedding recently in New Brunswick, and there was people from other places in Canada, so other provinces like Quebec, Ontario. So I kind of went through the room and said like, hey, do we have people from Ontario? Blah, blah, blah. Gave them shit, gave them a little chirp. People from Quebec, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Gave them a few chirps. And then when it got to New Brunswick, I was like, is there people from New Brunswick here? And it was like most of the room. And I was like, guys, I expected a lot more camo. Like there was some, but like I expected more.
More, yeah. Or there should always be more, really. You can't over camo.
All right, so guys, we want to try this new segment. What we want to do is we're going to be, basically it's going to be Team A, Team B, so Team Phil, Team Sid, and then we want you guys to vote on which is the best team. So the theme for this draft is going to be the best bachelor party destinations. So the way it's going to work, Sid being the guest, he will go first. and then it's going to come back to me. I pick again, so it's like snake draft, and then it goes back to him, and then we both complete our top fives. We're going to post. I'm going to post the teams on our social media, and we want you guys to vote on who has the best top 5 bachelor party destinations. So Sid, my man, like I said, off you go.
I've been thinking about this since you mentioned it, and I'm taking Bangkok round 1. It's just a kingpin of a destination. It's got everything you want for a stag do, and it's just wild, and it's impossible for you not to have a wild weekend there. Like, so many bars, clubs, different things going on.
Yeah, one knock I'll give it, just because we're against each other in this segment, is for me it's kind of far. So maybe not all the boys that I want to be there will go.
You should have better boys. Most of these destinations are going to end up being long range, Scott.
Yeah. So my first pick, listen guys, I thought you were going to take this one to start off with, because I was like, he has to. It is the destination. It is the place for bachelor parties. It is the blue chip of fucking party destinations. Las Vegas. I mean, listen guys, it's the Sin City. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Do I even need to explain myself? You got, football, you got hockey, you've got casinos, you've got the strip, you've got shows, you've got concerts, you got everything. You even got a fucking Eiffel Tower. So listen, I think it explains itself.
I bet if we're doing points against as well, the problem is it's full of Americans.
Well, I'd assume. Listen, I haven't been to Vegas. I am going to Vegas for a bachelor party soon, and I have to assume that there are a lot of Americans, but like there has to be a shit ton of tourists as well, because from what I've heard, people don't want to stay there past like 3-4 days, because it's just it just gets too intense. So I mean, if you're local there and you're on the strip on the daily,
it's an international destination, really, isn't it? We can accept that, but yeah, it's got to be hard to live out there, like living in the Amazon, I suppose, but for different reasons.
Yeah, could you imagine being a sports team and living out of Vegas? Like, you got to make sure that your team, like, if you're drafting a player,
to control yourself.
But think about it. Like, if you're drafting a player, you got to make sure that they're like, disciplined and like won't be out on the town every night. But another thing to consider: if you're the home team in Vegas and you know that the boys are solid, all the incoming teams, all the visiting teams, they're like, oh man, we're going to Vegas. So you might have the advantage of them partying it up the night before.
Pros and cons, I suppose, but yeah, I can't see the guys being disciplined.
No.
Think about it, you'd be a guy in your early 20s, yeah, absolute raking in the dollars. Every cutie in the city's after you, man. You're gonna be out on the town every night. I refuse to believe they're not.
Okay, right. So my second pick. Yeah. So my second pick here, I am going. Listen, I got to go with another blue chip. I'm going to Amsterdam. Amsterdam
That's a solid choice.
Is universally known as, I guess, almost Sin City of Europe, right? We've already discussed in terms of its red light district that it's maybe not one of the best in Europe, but it is also the most well-known in Europe. So that's where, you're getting a lot of tourists, you're getting a lot of parties and just any type of shenanigans that you want to get into. You can find it in Amsterdam, the red light district. But I think also cool enough is that Amsterdam offers a lot more than just the red light district. I think that we've talked about this on our season 1. If you guys haven't heard that, go back and listen to it. We talk about the top 5 best things in Amsterdam. So number 2 is Amsterdam for me.
It's a really good choice. I've got nothing against it as well. So
No, you can't.
my second pick. I'm taking Prague, which is actually a city that we don't spend enough time speaking about because Prague fucking rocks.
Oh,
Yeah. It's always controversial to say it's Eastern Europe, but it is Eastern Europe. But, it's got those Eastern European vibes, yeah, because it feels a little bit rough around the edges compared to some of the more cosmopolitan European cities still, especially when you get to some of the bars on the outskirts. But again, a little bit like the reason I picked Bangkok, you've just got so many bars and clubs to go to, like different vibes, different places, and things can get very naughty there. Most people I know who have been to Prague have got a story to tell and maybe even some scars to show for it. We should really do a Prague episode at some point because it's just loaded with stuff going on.
yeah. Sid, you've got a story from Czech, right?
I can rustle something up.
Okay. All right. We'll do that at some point here. Obviously, you're not going anywhere. And no, listen, I can't talk shit against Prague either, man. You have the great nightlife. You have that club. There's one of the. It's not the best place, but it's one of the well-known places in Prague. Is the club with 7 floors?
Karlovy Vary.
Have you been to this? Yeah, dude. I mean, listen. It's. Do you want to lose your friends? Is basically what it should be called.
Yeah, it's like a maze.
It's
we went. I'll do this quickly. Yeah, we went with a group of us. There was about 6 of us. Yeah, and one of the guys passed out not long after we got there, and he fell asleep on the stairs. Yeah, just collapsed. Little Scottish guy, right? And he was the only person we could find all night when we split up because he was the only person that didn't move. We didn't bump into each other again. We just I saw Andy an hour ago. He's still on the stairs, but we didn't know where everyone else in the group was. Just the one guy who couldn't move.
Like, I don't know if you need like what are those like little air tags or whatever, the Apple air tags that you can like find stuff, you can like tag people. They should do that so that you can find your friends. $1 million idea for this club if you're listening. Yeah, I also went to an ice bar there.
Nice.
So everything was made of ice, and then they just give you a coat, which, like, I know you need a coat. Maybe go to that bar before coming to Canada. And yeah, so listen.
It sounds like
everything's made
Canada,
of ice,
doesn't it? Everything's made of ice.
Yeah, you can come stay in my igloo. I'll show you. But yeah, so glass made of ice. Like you have like mittens, chairs, ice. Everything's fucking ice. The bartender's not ice, but that's the only thing. So yeah, Prague. You can't talk shit.
Right. It gets harder now. It does. Where do I want to go with this? I'm torn between 2, but I don't reckon you're going to take either of them. So I might be all right here. I'm gonna go with Berlin.
Oh wow!
Which maybe is a surprise pick to some people, but anyone who knows the party scene there, it goes off and it doesn't stop. Your nights out can finish at like 10 a.m. I remember the first night out I went out in Berlin. We went to one of those big techno clubs. We got pretty crazy, and then I was sitting in this kebab house trying to like get my life together. The sun was already up. There were people like walking around in business suits going to work. We weren't even close to being home yet. That city doesn't sleep, which I know you can say the same about Vegas, but Berlin goes hard.
Oh, Berlin, man, that was such a good one. It was a little bit off my radar because, like you said, it's not one that stands out. But like after, man, like you said, Berlin just doesn't sleep. It's basically graffiti, doner kebab, and nightclubs.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like, if we're talking about logistics as well, it's like a 2-hour flight from London. So if you're a group of English lads looking for a destination, that should be one that you're thinking about for the weekend, because you'll come back in pieces. That city will break you.
Listen, I was gonna say Prague, so you stole that one from me. My number 3 is I'm gonna go. So I feel like I've gone with like two safe blue chip picks. They're first round picks. I got one in the first round. I got the second one in the second round. Like those, nobody can dispute those. Number 3, because I feel like you've got 3 very strong, maybe a bit more underdoggy picks, but that they're so fucking good that they're almost blue chips. So with this here, I'm going to have to get a bit creative, and I'm going festival chasing. So I'm going sticking in Germany, and I'm going to Munich for Beer Fest. Oktoberfest, baby. Reason why is, listen, you grab a couple boys, you get a couple lederhosen, you get in line, you get into the big tents, and they serve liter beers. Okay? It's basically bratwurst, chicks and drindles, which is like the German dress for women. Yeah, and pretzels and beer. Like, what else do you want? It's amazing. People are singing songs, and then you also have, this is more in the tourist tent, not in as much in the German tent, but people will get up on their table in this crowd of thousands of people and attempt to chug their liter beer. And you may be thinking, oh, this is just a macho man type thing. No, a lot of women do this as well. And the crowd is very unforgiving. It's very entertaining. If you're good, people will treat you like a legend. But if you fuck up and you don't drink fast or you're spilling, people will take food and throw it at you like a damn animal.
Wow, that's the kind of atmosphere you want on a stag do as well.
Yeah,
it's going to get people riled up.
So I feel like going to a destination, sometimes, you can go to these big cities and you kind of have to look for where it's good. Go to a festival. Go to Munich. Go to Oktoberfest. And for those who don't know, it is actually before October. So you got to do this in September. It is the celebration for October, right? I think it spills in a bit into October, but that's definitely one that people want to do. I've been twice. Just because I lived in Germany and I was like, fuck, I've got to relive this. Like a few of the boys from where I went to high school, we went up. Man, like you said, you just drink all day. And then when you end or you want to take a break, you go outside. There's this huge hill of people that are just passed out because they've just been drinking liter beers all day. So what we decided to do that first time that I went with the boys is do a photo shoot with the passed out people, because obviously, why not? So yeah,
you're gonna have to find some of those photos now. One.
Yeah, they'll be on the gram. All right, so my number 4. I think I got to stick it with a festival again. I'm going Pamplona. Running with the Bulls.
For a stag?
For a stag. Yes, absolutely.
I was not expecting this.
So I went, and when I experienced it, I was like, I would love to fucking do this for my bachelor party. It is insane. So for those who don't know what it is exactly how it sounds. It's running with the Bulls. They put basically people in a kind of a pen around to the stadium. So you have to run in this circuit and then you end up into the stadium, but they release bulls behind you and people are running away to not get trampled, gorged, or any of the above from the bulls. When I did it, so I went the first day and I was fucking nervous, dude. The first day I was going to do it and then it was raining. And so the cobblestone was slippery. So I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing it. Watch the race. And there's a place that's called Dead Man's Corner. It's a 90-degree turn. Yet the bulls, so there's 8 bulls. The bulls can't turn on a 90-degree angle. So they smash into the corner and then they go up the hill. But on the day that I was watching, there's a guy
nimble,
who
are
got...
they?
No. I mean, fuck, I'd have a hard time turning on the cobblestone how wet it was. And man, there's a guy who got sandwiched between the barricade and it's stuck in the 90 degree, and then he got gorged. So when we went down after the race, there was blood pooled everywhere. Anyway, I'm maybe not portraying it the best, but what you can do is you can get an apartment that has a balcony view of the race. And that's the thing to do, because every morning at 8, this race starts. And man, like, the race happens. It's fucking crazy. Then they play around in the stadium. They let like smaller bulls through and people trying to dodge them and stuff. And then leads out a parade. And then people just party all day. And this happens every single morning for 10 days. So I'm going Pamplona, running with the bulls. You don't even have to run if you don't want to, but just being in the atmosphere, drinking beers at 8 a.m. That's basically what it is.
That's a key element, to be fair. I mean, I don't know if I'd put it in my top 5, but the beers at 8 a.m. does get me excited.
Yeah, I think the level of danger is what makes it something. It makes it fucking sick.
The one thing I would say though, if you were with the boys, yeah, and one of them got nicked a little bit by one of the bulls, just a little bit hurt, you'd all have a great laugh about it. But if one of them like gets killed, it probably takes the edge off the weekend a little bit.
Well, like I said, you don't have to even do the race. There's ways that you can do the race. Like, I agree, but there's ways that you can do the race that it's safe. So what they do is they let people into like this corner, and they give you the instructions like, don't, if you fall, like, stay down, like, don't touch the bulls, that type of thing. Okay. But what you can literally do is once they let people go, you can go onto the course anywhere you want, and you can basically walk into the stadium. So you can say that you ran with the bulls, but that you actually just walk into the stadium. So you can do that and just have like the best seat in the house. Because after that, there's barricades. You can jump the barricade in the stadium and then just be protected when there's that show of the smaller bulls fucking people up.
Right. Number 4, I'm going to take another Thai destination, which you're going to moan that it's too far away, but fuck it. I think if you've got a long weekend, it's all right. 5 days, maybe something like that. I'm going with Phuket. I was thinking about the wildest cities in Southeast Asia, and this takes the cake. I didn't want to pick another Thai one, but I couldn't find a reason not to include this. It's got similar qualities to Bangkok in terms of night out. You know, you've got everything from ping pong shows to, you know, strip bars and every kind of club you can think of. Yeah, of course. You know, and it's just bouncing from the get-go, you know. Loads of tattoo parlors as well. A lot of people I know get stupid tattoos in Phuket.
Do you get like Kashasa tattoos there too, or?
You can, yeah, you don't want to see what I got in Phuket. I didn't actually get it. I backed out, and I'm so glad I did. Yeah, one of the reasons I felt it was necessary was I was going to get a beach bucket on my arm, because there a lot of the times you don't drink from a glass, you drink from a beach bucket. Yeah, so you're just walking around with like the bucket and the straw in it. It's because you can fit more alcohol in a bucket. So
right,
yeah, and the Thai whiskey there, you know, there's stories of that making people go blind, and I don't just mean for the night. I mean like permanently. But yeah, one of the reasons why I felt it was necessary to put this in was because you can have these ridiculously crazy nights, and then you've got the beach there, so you can actually recover in the morning. You know what I mean? A little bit of time at the beach, yeah. Jump in the sea and you're ready to go again, because that's one of Mother Nature's greatest hangover cures is the sea, which I think really it enables you to keep pounding the beers or Thai whiskey, whatever you've gone for. You know, the beach buckets. You can even use your beach buckets to make a sandcastle once you finish drinking from. So yeah, I mean, daytime activities we didn't really mention them, because I know like in Prague you can do the beer bikes and things like that, which are cool. Also, I rate the beach. So the fact that you've got this mad strip of bars just coming straight off the back of it, and that it's Thailand, so there's no rules, everything goes there. I think it's a strong place for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Can't knock from what you said. I've never been, but yeah.
Number 5, I really had a hard time choosing. I was actually going to go for Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, but then I realised we'd spend the weekend drinking tea, so I took it out. After some debating, I decided to go for Budapest. Okay, and actually because it's got a mixture of I hope you had that one on the list. Because it's got a mixture of all of the places we've mentioned. Yeah, you've got a variety of clubs. It's a little bit gritty, a little bit like Berlin or Prague in that sense. Yeah, drinks are ridiculously cheap, which is a big bonus in all of these places. I think the only expensive place we've mentioned between the two of us, actually no, yours are quite, your side of the drawer is expensive, and I'll say that now. My side of the drawer is much cheaper.
Oh, absolutely.
Budapest will not set.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Budapest will not set
I went with blue chip.
Money. Some of us live in the third world, my friend. Budapest is wildly cheap and wildly fun. Yeah, there's all kinds of bars. You're never short of a good party there, and the locals are extremely friendly. But you will also find other groups. It's already a popular stag do destination for British people, and it is that for a reason. Yeah. It must be one of the most popular on the continent for these reasons. You've got the beer bikes that you can do in the daytime. You also great hangover cure. You can go to the baths there, like the natural
Turkish baths,
hot springs they have there. Man, it's the best hangover cure ever in my life. Yeah, I remember we went out there. Yeah, and there was I met these guys, big like rugby guys they were, and we were at this bar. And in the UK, absinthe I think was banned for a while. I actually need to check my facts on this. Yeah. Then they brought it back, and there's some clubs you can get it in, but you can only drink one, and then they'll stamp your hand. Because I remember going to a club in Edinburgh, and they did that. They stamp your hand. If you've got the stamp, you can't order anymore because they know it's dangerous. Yeah, Budapest doesn't have these rules. He said to me, "How many absinthes can you drink?" I don't know. I reckon I can drink more than you. Let's go, son. Yeah, guys, honestly, got to be 6'6", 20 stone, and I'm like, right, fuck it. Let's see how this goes. Yeah. So we knocked back the first one. Yeah, feeling right. Right, second one. Here we go. Took a minute or so to breathe because you're breathing fire at this point, yeah. Third one, yeah, we're all right. All right, let's get the fourth one. Fourth one, I'm feeling rough, but all right. 5 minutes later, I go to the bathroom, go take a piss, yeah. All hits me at once, just collapse. Just collapsed on the urinal. Yeah, and I'm glad they were big fucking guys, the other guys, because he was no better. I woke up in the morning because that ended my night, yeah. It turned out that a couple of the others, it took 2 of them to pick up him, yeah, because he was so fucking big. Right, they carried us back to the hostel because the pair of us fucking collapsed after the 4th. So I took the draw. But yeah, man, Budapest is a good time. Do you know what I mean? If you want to fuck around with the guys, we had some fun out there. So yeah, and got that
Budapest. I loved it too, man. Again. Yeah, another thing that I loved about Budapest is that there seems to be a shit ton of festivals. There's always a festival going on.
Yeah.
Like when we went there, there was like a random ass jazz festival, which was like super cool, and they're selling like palinka everywhere, just get like sauced on plum moonshine.
It's been a while since I've had a
Listen,
palinka.
my number 5. Yeah, my number 5. Okay, you've taken 2 from me here. I wanted Prague and I wanted Budapest. So for just to recap quickly what I have, I've got the 2 blue chips, Amsterdam and Las Vegas. And then I have Pamplona and Munich for Oktoberfest. So to cap it off, yeah, I've got a couple on my mind right now. I'm gonna talk through it. So my one is, or one of the 3 is New Orleans in the US. It's it's got Bourbon Street, the French Quarter, amazing seafood. Basically, it's one of the most well-known party destinations in the world. I was supposed to go to a bachelor party. I have not gone, and that's maybe why I'm going to keep this one out, even though it is a world-class destination. The second one I have on my mind is Nashville. Nashville, man. Wow. It's country music central. Every single bar, they're playing music. It's just got a beautiful vibe because everybody's just a cowboy and having fun. And listen, so those are my two that I like. I really love Nashville, but I gotta do a homer pick here. So my number 5 is Montreal. Montreal is in Canada and Quebec. It's, man, what don't you love about Montreal? I mean, it's got the best place to go watch a hockey game. Yes, I know I'm Canadian. It's got an amazing nightlife. It's got world-class strip clubs for people who like to go to bachelor parties and go to strip clubs. And I mean, there's also like the old Montreal, which is like, it's basically like jumping into Europe. It's not as nice as the Quebec old city, but it's the Montreal old cities. It's nice enough. Also, it's got great bars, great restaurants. Yeah, Montreal's number 5 for me, man.
That would be a really off the radar pick for a European to choose Montreal, but I know enough about the city to show it some respect. It's, you know, it would be an interesting weekend. I think it's cut adrift from the other picks, but still reasonable.
I had to go with a homer pick. I'll tell you what, right, though, one of the best bachelor parties I've been to has not been destination based. One of the best that I've been, it was a combo of two guys' bachelor parties, and we went on an island, like near the beach, and we stayed on the island for the night, and we did like a Survivor style, like competition. So one bachelor party versus another bachelor party group, and it was like, both teams had to like make a raft, so we had some like tools and shit, and then we had to swim out to this point and dive down underwater to get like a magnifying glass and then row back with our raft. Once we were back online, we had to take the magnifying glass and start a fire.
That's
and then that
cool.
Fire would, yeah, man, it was fucking sick. And then it like once the fire went, it like burned this rope that had this bucket on it, and then you had to fill it with water. And at the end, it was the first team to take, so you had to fill it up with water. There was something at the bottom of the bucket, and then once you got it to the top, it was the face of the other bachelor party's fiance. And the first team to take that picture, put it on a blow-up doll, won a big like 3-liter whiskey bottle.
I feel much more relaxed about going to the Amazon now that I've realised you're basically Tom Hanks from Castaway.
And Jason Bourne. But man, no, like that was one that wasn't a destination place. So it doesn't always have to be the destinations, but those are our top 5 guys. So to recap, for Sid's team, we have Bangkok, Prague, Berlin, Phuket, and Budapest. And for me, we have Vegas, Amsterdam, Oktoberfest in Munich, Running with the Bulls in Pamplona, and number 5, Montreal. So we're going to post them on social. We want to hear who has the best group of bachelor party destinations. Let us know who takes the cake. But anyway, Sid, thanks a lot for coming on. When are you coming back on, I guess? We actually had a Instagram post that said, who is your dream guest? And we got a shout out from the big man himself, Big Sid. Somebody said, I want Big Sid as the dream guest. So when are you coming back on?
I saw that post. So yeah, big respect to the guy who picked me. You know, you gotta respect the guy who knows his heroes. Yeah, I'll be back soon. I'm always about, so, and it's always a pleasure. I'll be less hungover next time, maybe. I can't promise anything, but
yeah.
Right. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thanks for coming on.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Two Beers Till Takeoff. Do you want free additional content or just to stay connected with the show? Then give us a follow on our social media platform. That means TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of them. Are you in need of podcast production services, video editing, or anything in between? Then look no further than Strut Sound Productions, the official producer of the Two Beers Till Takeoff podcast. Music produced by Alex Gagné. Check out his work in our show notes. Voiceover done by Viking Leo K. See you next week on Two Beers Till Takeoff.